All right, we're live. See, I always have to check our Facebook page to make sure that we're first. That
Which
way
Facebook? Which one is it?
we're on Shadow Hunters.
Oh, I'm in the completely wrong place.
Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigations and Events.
Oh, and events. Oh, snazzy.
I
Oh,
know.
apparently you're live right now.
We are live, so that way I can see the chat room too.
Oh yeah, there's me.
Okay, there you go. Looking good, man. Looking good. You got your Ghostbuster on the other side. I got to mute that so I don't hear the two of us. Hi, Devin. Welcome. So I keep that on my desktop here, and that way I can see people do it. So.
Oh wait, there's people asking questions and stuff.
Mm-hmm. See how you like my new cup.
Oh, I missed it. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I've lost you. Yeah, there it is. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down in my basement right now.
Yeah. So welcome to the first night of Scotty Talks About in my new studio. And it's the fireside chats, just like the old days, where we can sit around the fire and talk. Except for I have no fire because it's too damn hot.
It is warm. It is very. It's been warm all day and muggy and kind of just shitty.
And there's all my Ghostbuster stuff over there.
Oh, you don't want to play this game, man.
You and I, we got a ton of shit. So,
oh dear.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I miss you and I love you. And we were just talking about your wedding the other night.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, in one of our paranormal, in our Psychics Unite group, we were talking about.
That would be with Scotty and Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yep. And we were talking about your wedding and how amazing it was, and what a wedding planner you and your wife are. It's just probably the most fun that I've had at a wedding in quite a long time.
Good.
Amazing. I still have the wands over there.
Good.
So they're right up there.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was.
Thank you.
Talking about the donuts. I love it.
Yeah.
Still my favorite ever.
Yeah. Well, see, what happened is that we went to a couple of these like cake tastings.
Yeah.
And we kind of decided, okay, well, this is, I guess if we're going to get a cake, let's get something like a carrot cake or something like that, because neither of us really like cake.
Right.
So, and then like we got a couple of quotes and we're like, why are we going to spend $1,000 on a bloody cake when neither of us eat it? So we're like, you know what? I like Dunkin'. Let's just do that. So we ordered like 300 donuts, and it came to like $200 and something. So we spent like $200 on donuts, $1,000 on a bloody cake, and we had so many of them. We had these
great. I mean, it was so many different types.
It was great, and they were all in the Harry Potter house colors. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. It was wonderful. And I'm not a big cake person either, so I was very happy to get donuts. I mean, now you could have done pie. Pies are good too, but cake, I'm not the biggest cake guy in the world.
No, it's weird. I think that actually stems from when I worked at McDonald's. I was at the tender age of maybe 16, and I basically got put in charge of children's parties.
Okay.
Right. So I actually did a course on how to face paint. Can you believe that shit? So I did the face painting, and I even to this day I could probably I was the best one I could do was Spider-Man. I could do a kid's face like Spider-Man like that. It was so easy. But I did a course and everything. But ultimately, every kid got this birthday cake, and there was always like I would eat a slice while I was there. And I think I just overdone it. I just OD'd on cake, and it was just like, after that, I've just never been a big cake eater. I mean, I might have a slice every now and again, and my kid, she'll make brownies or something, but I'm not a big cake person. I won't be like, oh, I must have cake, So yeah, I don't know. Donuts was definitely the way to go.
Yeah, talk about parties and stuff, and talk about face painting. I got paid once. I think it was Terry and I got a job. It was like $75 for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. And back in the 80s, that was a lot of money. That was a ton of money. And we were broke ass and we had no money. And we said, okay, we'll do it. Well, come to find out that I had to be a mime. I hate mimes. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah, we had to be in mime for 2 hours at a
You
college.
actually, what you're basically saying is that you had to shut up for 2 hours and you just
I
couldn't.
can't do that.
No, you couldn't do it. Yeah, stuck in a box. Oh no.
Like, what am I doing?
It's,
It was
it's
the
the
worst 2 hours of
worst.
my life. I
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
upset. I'm like, oh my God, please help me. Help me. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun and all the stuff we did, but no, it was just and it turned out great. I mean, we had a little rain, but it still was like an amazing time and
Sure.
just a lot of fun. So your dinner was great. The wedding was awesome.
Thank you.
It was just so. How's married life?
Well, I mean, it's not a lot different. Um, you know, it's not really. I mean, obviously, we were living together prior to that. You know, so yeah, we were sinning prior to that. Um, but yeah, um, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, we already bought a house prior to getting married. And then there's this whole COVID thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, I wanted to
Staying
thank
at
you for
home.
all the hard work you've done and all the 3D printing that you did for all the
Yeah,
hospitals. That dude, that
still
was
still
amazing.
doing it.
I bet you are.
Yeah, yeah. There's still. I mean, there's still businesses that are opening up now. Like I just sent a bunch of masks to a tattoo studio.
Okay.
They don't have anything there.
Yeah, a
Then
lot of dentists are,
dentists.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing with the dentists is that because when they shut down, they have PPE, but they had to give it to the hospitals. So when they did open, they didn't have anything. So they had to order new stuff, and obviously, some of this stuff was back ordered and whatnot. So, but yeah, there are a couple of dentists around here that I made the face shields and the masks for them, and I just donated all of that. So, yeah.
Cool. So did you get the design somewhere, or did you make that up for the?
No, I belong to a group of other. So basically, what it was is, Jason Gowan.
Yep.
Yeah. So he and he started printing this stuff, and I hit him up because I wanted to make some for my wife because she works in the health industry.
Right.
She works in the hospital. So, and I know they didn't have the right stuff. So I asked him how I could, can I get involved in this thing? And he hooked me up with this group on Facebook where basically a bunch of people who have 3D printers were making this PPE for their local hospitals and stuff. And we had to use specific files that were approved.
Okay.
They had to be approved files. And so that's what I did. I did those. I did the approved, the shields and whatnot. Because obviously there still are hospitals. They still have to, use this stuff. So it has to be has to go through some sort of testing first. But so I used only approved designs. But yeah, it was just a case of just non-stop printing. I mean, I had orders for like 200 shields.
Wow.
And I had like maybe 4 days to print them, and each one takes about an hour. And so it's basically just running one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then it would take that one off, and I'd put that together, and I'd put another one on, and it was just a case of just like a complete almost like a factory line, just So, but it was good. I mean, it was. I was tired because there were certain times where like I had to get a certain amount done for the next day. And so I stayed up all night. I would set my alarm to so there were some of the things took like 4 hours to print, for example. And so I would print it. I'd set the printer going and I'd set the alarm for 4 hours, and then I'd wake up, go downstairs, change it all out, and then just go back to bed. So it was tiring, but it was rewarding because, ultimately, there was a lot of people who got stuff that they really needed.
Yeah. And so my question, though, I understand it all, but mine was, is your printer holding up?
Yeah, they're printing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had no flaws, no bad ones, no.
No, I mean, there was a couple of times, things go wrong always. No, that's.
But I mean, I know how bad my printer is over on the computer over here, and it's like it shuts down every 2 prints.
No,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, how are the
no,
3D
the thing with this one is like the only thing that really does is a sort of an issue is because I got the files to a point where they didn't really need looking after as long as everything was going fine. But there was a couple of times where maybe it didn't stick to the bed and it picked up by the extruder, and I'd come down, after 2 hours, and I'd see it all gunked up on the nozzle, and I had to shut everything down and pull it all off and clean it up and things like that. Only happened a couple of times, so that's not too bad. But it's one of the
at all?
printing, you get, it's always a learning thing with 3D printing. I've been printing now for years and years. I mean, when I was working over at Ghost Stop, I mean, we were using the 3D printers to prototype. And I built the BB-8. I built him all 3D printed. So I've had, it's not like I was new to it, but I'm new with these printers. These printers are new. I really like them. They're the Dremel.
Okay.
They're good. And if this show was bigger, and you need to work on this, because I could do some plug-in right now, maybe get a free one. That'd be nice.
Go ahead, plug in anyway. What the heck?
Oh yeah, no, the Dremel printer, yeah, it's good. I mean, it was only like $500.
Really,
So
that's a good price.
it was a very good price. That's why I got it, and then I got a second one to keep up with the orders, and then obviously I also prop build. You know that I
Right. Yeah.
and so I've been building stuff using the printers as well, and it's fun. I like doing it. I like being creative.
Yep, you always have. That's for damn sure. By the way, Greg said he likes my haircut, but Greg, it's not a haircut. I just slicked it back for tonight. So it's still my COVID hair, so it's just slicked back. I haven't been to the hairstylist yet. So.
Neither have I since February.
I think mine was in January, so it's like I got my haircut before I had my eye surgery. So
see, I got my haircut before I went to Europe. And at the very end of February, which was, I think it was around the 28th. So this was a leap year, wasn't it?
Yeah, 29th, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So it's even 2020 is a longer year. But ultimately, yeah, I think we basically went to New York on the 28th of February. And this was as the COVID thing was kicking off.
Right.
And
shutdown started, yeah.
Yeah, it was like it started at the end of February, and so we're in New York for like 2 or 3 days, and then we flew to London. We went to Paris, we went to Ireland, and I stayed with Barry.
Oh, cool.
And then
how's he doing? All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's busy with his stuff. He's writing more books and stuff. But yeah, when we flew back. They were talking about shutting everything down. And then 2 days after we returned, they shut everything down. And I had to be quarantined when I got home because I'd been to Paris and London and New York. I got quarantined from work and I had to stay at home and like just wait it out. And then just before I was going to go back to work, they shut the malls. So then I had to start figuring out how to work from home. And
right.
Yeah, this year has been very, very strange. And I'm only halfway through.
That's why I built the studio, because since my job is gone, my day job is gone. And
Right.
I haven't got no other job. So now I'm doing my mediumship full time. I'm teaching mediumship classes. I'm doing readings. I'm going to be doing readings online here full time from now on. So very excited to be working for myself finally,
Right.
after all these years.
And that's the thing, because of the way that the hours are cut and because of the way that things have changed, I'm having to like find alternative ways to make some money and pay the bills.
Right.
I mean, you're in the same situation, it's like you've got to get creative. And so I've been like the props and things that I've been building masks, like custom masks and things like that I've been selling. I opened an Etsy shop at the beginning towards the end of May.
Right.
And so I've been selling through that. I'm just trying to find ways to, supplement the stuff, what I'm losing at work. So
Right.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Has the mall opened yet by you guys or no?
It has, but they're limited hours.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, ours just opened. See, us in Dane County here where I am, the state got sued by people in the state, and it lost. It went to the
Yeah.
Supreme Court of the state, and Wisconsin lost. You can't, so Governor Evers' plan just went out the window for the rest of the state. But my county decided that since they're best friends with the governor, that they're going to go to the governor's original plan and keep us shut down. So we're well behind the country in opening.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We just got to 25% right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, and this is the thing, is like, we were still shut down, but then there's still these protests going on. There's people who refuse to wear masks.
Right.
All that's going to happen is that we're all going to be in the same situation in a couple of months.
Right.
Everything gets shut down again. Because, there's the people out there, crying oppression when clearly they don't know what oppression even is. But, if you don't want to go somewhere because they're telling you have to wear a mask, don't go there.
By the way, Shelly Smothers says hi.
Who?
Shelly Smothers, she says, she's in the room, says, hi, Scotty and Paul.
Oh,
hello,
hi.
Shelly, how are you? But yeah, I mean, but I thought for sure we'd see spikes by now because it's almost the end of 2 weeks of protests. And
yeah, but I don't think many of them are even going to hospital. Here's the thing, is that you can have the virus without showing the symptoms.
True. And be one of the areas.
But not just that, but it also requires you to go to a doctor. Now, other people who are protesting are young. They're possibly, they're healthy. But even if they get the virus, they could still be mobile. They could still be moving around. They could still be doing exactly what they're doing. All they're actually doing is spreading it. So it's all well and good. They have it. It doesn't really matter, because they don't, it's not really affecting them in the way that it would affect an older person or somebody who has an immune system issue and things like that. Yes, you are old.
And I have no immune system. So
right. So
I think I had it. Seriously, I think I had it in December.
Really?
Yeah, because I was coughing like crap. I had fever. I had most of the symptoms back then.
Right.
And then I got better just in time to have my eye surgery. And I think that might have caused with all the coughing because I tore my retina detached and I had 2 tears in my eye.
Jesus.
So I had to get that repaired, and that happened New Year's Day. But then I started feeling better, so it was just pretty.
Right.
But and then my mom, I think she had it, and her husband had it. So it was like we went through a lot of people that I knew that were super sick back in December. So you're like going, now do I have the antivirus? But they're not testing for that. That's what I want to know. I want to get
right.
So I know, do I have the antibodies in me already?
Right.
Or I still have to be super cautious, which I am anyway, because
exactly.
I put out on Facebook, I put out on Instagram my mask that was made. So
what mask you got?
A Ghostbusters one. This one.
You have a Ghostbusters logo on the mask. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Chuck Coverly made it for me and sent it to me, so I thought it was great.
That's very cool.
I was like, it's so cool.
Yeah, I've been making. Yeah. I got one that's from like Doom. You remember the game Doom?
Oh my God, I love Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got one that's like based off of that goes around. And
you got a Doctor Who one yet?
No, I don't. You know what? Doctor Who's kind of like just
sucks right now. It sucks.
It sucks. I mean, I can't watch it right now. In fact, so I have BritBox, which is fantastic for anybody who wants to watch all the old British stuff. BritBox is the shit. So I got BritBox. It's like $6 a month, and I can watch all the old Doctor Who's, all the old classic ones. So I watched Tom Baker and Peter Davison.
But I still hate season 4. But by the way, just so you know, that's my worst season.
Which season?
4. I forget. That's the. It was a very strange looking doctor. I forget. He was Doctor 4, the 4th Doctor.
You don't like Tom Baker? That's like
Tom Baker was what? He was 5.
No, he was 4.
Okay, then season 5 after the guy after Tom.
Peter Davison?
Yeah, I didn't like
the
him.
Guy in the cricket outfit?
Yeah, I didn't like him. Didn't like him.
He is actually David Tennant's father-in-law.
Get out.
Yeah, no, because David Tennant married. So there's an episode of Doctor Who where David Tennant was a doctor, and it's called The Doctor's Daughter, and Georgina Moffat played the Doctor's daughter. Anyway, so David Tennant ultimately ended up marrying her, and they got a kid and everything. But Georgina Moffat is actually Peter Davidson's daughter. So the person who played the Doctor's daughter is actually the Doctor's daughter, but the Doctor then married her, and so now, well, it's confusing. But but David Tennant and Peter Davison are now like he's his father-in-law.
Oh, that's great though. Yeah, I didn't like him.
Are you sure? I'm kind of thinking you're thinking of Colin Baker, the one with the patchwork coat.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, no, that's Colin Baker.
Okay, Colin Baker. Yeah, didn't like him.
Colin. Okay.
Yeah,
He got a bad run, unfortunately. They sort of gave him some really shitty stories. I love Colin, like actually, the actor.
Yeah.
I've actually sat on a couch and interviewed him on stage. He's a great guy. He's a very nice guy. But yeah, I think he got a bad because he was probably at one point my least favorite Doctor. Just because the stories weren't that good. But after meet him and talking with him and that, I sort of went back and I revisited some of his stories and like I say, I think that he just got a bad writing. But just now I can't watch it. I just go back and enjoy what I went and enjoyed. Even like I love David Tennant. I thought Matt Smith was a fantastic actor, but even his stories weren't that great. And I think Peter Capaldi could have been so much better if his stories had been better.
Yeah, I think he had bad writers. I mean, because if you go back before David Tennant, wasn't that the guy with the buzz haircut?
Yeah, Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, he was great.
He was good. Yeah, he was great. Again, the stories were great, and that was
they were great. And David Tennant's stories were good. At first, but by the time he was ready to leave, I think that's why he wanted to leave because they were really.
They started to talk. The problem was that as soon as Steve Moffat took over as in charge of everything. There was too many like story arcs, whereas beforehand each season had a sort of arc to it. Right. There was this whole something going on in the background of every episode that sort of led to the finale. The problem when Steve Moffat sort of took over, he had so many strings, so many ends to sort of that it feels like it was all rushed, and then he had some really great villains that he ruined. By like the statues were great. That was an amazing villain. That was an amazing bad guy type of thing. Because it sort of screwed. It messed with your sort of subconscious a little bit because it was that thing where any statue could be these beings. So, but they don't. But when you look at them, they're just statues. It's when you're not looking at them, and that sort of plays with your mind a bit because the only time you look at a statue. It's a statue. When you're not looking at it, what is it? And the same goes for the sort of the crack in the wall. He done the same thing with that. It's like a lot of people have cracks in the wall that just sort of mysteriously appear one day. And so I
didn't mind the crack in the wall. I thought that was kind of.
That was good. I thought it was great. It messes with.
It was great.
But the problem is, he then didn't know where to take the angels, the weeping angels. He didn't know where to take them.
Right.
And he turned the Statue of Liberty into a weeping angel, and the Statue of Liberty, regardless of the name, isn't a statue. It's hollow. It's
right.
So ultimately, it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense anymore, and you've ruined what you created. And then he did the same thing with like the Cybermen and made them wood, which was stupid. And then,
that was pretty dumb.
and then Neil Gaiman wrote a story where they became Borg, and I'm just like, oh god, these are just getting terrible. So yeah, ultimately, I just sort of. Rather than just, bitch and moan about it like some people like to do, I just stopped watching it and just go back and enjoy what I do.
But yeah, it was funny because the other night we were talking about and I said that you were coming on to talk about tonight, just to have a good time with me. And I was just like, everybody goes, how do you know Paul? I said, I think Paul and I have known each other the longest out of anybody in the paranormal.
I think so. It's been, I think you
it was at least it was end of 8, beginning of 9.
Was it really 08?
Yeah, it was the end of 8 or beginning.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Because I joined GHI in 09.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because I was 8.
Yeah,
You
so
were
it had
on
to be
the show
8.
in 8.
Yeah, no one knew who I was before GHI.
I did.
Well, yeah, you did. Oh, Magic Guru.
You were amazing.
Wow.
So I'll let Paul tell the story because he's the guest.
No, not the trailer thing with the wife.
No, I'm going to say that because you got to know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Which one?
You can say that one too. I don't mind. It's funny.
No, it's fine.
It's the funniest thing in the face.
With the end.
Paul was on my radio show back in 2008 when when I was doing shows not to be named. I'm just going to say that. And
Okay.
but Paul was our tech guy that would come on and talk to us about tech every week. And that was back when you were doing what was it, Creepy Hollows gear?
Oh, yeah, Creepy Hollow gear.
Yeah, and I still have your geophone.
The Illuminator. Oh, the geophone.
Yeah.
I found like my first. It might have been my second one. I can't remember. Like when I was because when I went out to do Trending Fear.
Yeah.
A lot of my equipment is in Arizona, and there's not a lot of chance of me getting that back because it's with the ex-wife. But I did have a few things that were just sort of thrown into boxes, which was when I upgraded all my equipment, I took the older stuff out and I put it elsewhere. So all the newer stuff is in Arizona. So I'm rummaging around the boxes and trying to find all my equipment and get my equipment together. And I'm hitting up Sean at Ghost Stop and saying, "Hey, what have you got that's new? I need some new stuff." And and I can't find my mel meter. I need to send me a new mel meter. And so I sort of but I was rushing around and I found I had 3 or 4 different illuminators that I'd built. And a couple of them were actually like the old ones, like when I first built them, and they haven't changed. They haven't changed at all. Actually, the look of them is almost exactly the same. But I found one of my geophones, and the thing is, so it had the Creepy Hollow sticker on the front, right? I don't know. Do you have that one?
Yes, I have that one.
Right. Well, it's all worn away.
Mine's not. Mine's in good shape, except for the plug broke. So I had to go out when Radio Shack closed. I had to go buy the 2 pieces and put them together to make a plug.
Yeah. I miss the Radio Shack stuff, but at the same time, I don't miss Radio Shack because I would only go there when it was an emergency, because it was always like 3 or 4 times the cost of buying it online.
Right.
When you went there, no one knew what the hell they talked about. Like I'd go there with a technical question, and no one knew what they. So they were selling shit they didn't even know what they'd done. I was just like, oh, hate. But yeah, so I found my old geophone. Like I say, it was all beaten up, but it works. It still works. So that was cool. And I found a bunch of other stuff that was all my old stuff, which was really cool.
It still works perfect. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's still. That's the thing. I built this shit to last, and proved.
And you also gave me the one that it's a blue box that you plug a 9-volt in. That's supposed to give. It's supposed to generate noise, white noise, or amplify something, or I don't even remember what the hell it does.
No idea on that one.
But you gave that to me too, so I still got all the shit you gave me.
Oh man, I have no idea. That must be like a prototype or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because there's no name on it or nothing. It's just this blue box. You put a battery in. It's supposed to, give you more spirit energy around you.
I wonder if I just gave you something someone sent me.
Maybe.
Yeah, this shit don't work. Yeah, you have it.
Here, good for you, Scotty. Use it.
That's funny. That's funny. It's someone sent me this thing. So when I was filming GHI, I used to get hit up by random people like, "Hey, I've made this box and this, love it if you could test it." I'm like, "Yeah, send it out and I'll take a look at it." One time, this guy sent me this box, and I think he called it like a spirit mic, and he described it as it's designed to pick up theoretical wavelengths. And I said, "Well, hang on a minute, hang on. They're theoretical, so how do you know?" And he was like, "Oh no," and I was just like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And all he'd done is it looked like he'd just taken out the microphone and took 2 wires, and he just put a diode in there. It's actually the raw diode, I believe it's the raw diode, which is like I think it's like an organic, it's a crystal.
Okay.
Those in like AM radios, I think. And if I remember right, I mean, Jesus, it's been a long time now. But they put there's like an old crystal that they would put into radio systems because they would pick up transmission. But the thing is, he then put it all up against like these metal things. It didn't work. Let's just go there. So that was fun.
I have an old box sitting over here that worked really well when it first got out, one of the original ones, and I can't find the charger for it anymore. I can't find the plug, and there's no plug that matches this anymore. So I'm going to give it to you someday so you can get it to power up again for me and exchange it for me and help me get it back going, because it still works really well. It's still in great shape, but I'm just like, man, I can't find everywhere I go, I order them all off of Amazon and returning them all off because they don't match.
Yeah, I'll just swap it out for a whole thing. That's fine. You can send it to me. I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, that's But yeah, when I bring that creepy hollow gear out, they go, "Who made that?" I said, "Oh, Bradford."
And you must have some. You and Bill Murphy, actually. I don't know if many people would even remember Bill. Bill's.
You remember Bill?
He was the tech guy for Darkness Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was doing the tech guru stuff with you guys.
Right. Yeah.
And he and I would talk a lot. And I think of everybody in the paranormal field, you and he were probably the two that I'd spoken to prior to GHI, the only two, and actually Gary Galka as well. I'm
going to tell everybody I was the first one you told.
You were. You were the first person.
I was the first one. You called me up and you go,
"Yeah,
you can't believe what I got." I said,
"Yeah."
Then I say GHI.
Yeah.
Yeah, cast on TV. I think that's what I said. I said, "Yeah, cast on TV." You go, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I said, "Remember, I'm a psychic." No, that's good.
Yeah, it was. You were the first person.
Yep.
And then I think it was Bill.
Yep.
And then I remember I went out and filmed, and then I came back and I was watching TV. Do you remember Ghost Lab?
I do. Yeah.
And suddenly I saw Bill on there. I was like, "Dude, you're on TV." And he was like, "Yeah, I forgot to tell everybody." I was like, "Dude, you suck." Whatever, But
I don't really know if you remember, but we had some good talks on Skype when you were like across the world.
Oh yeah. I
had some fun.
I was talking to you, Scotty Roberts, and who else was there? I don't know, it might have just been you two actually. Like as far as sort of paranormal people. Because we had very little Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and you had very little time, so we didn't get it all.
Yeah.
But when you had a chance, you go, "Man,
I just
this."
Well, that was the thing, because when I first joined the team, I was the outsider, and what a lot of people don't realize is there were 7 of us. If you watch the show, there were 7 of us at that point, and there have been 7 people. It's always been 6 from GH to GHI. There's always been 6 people. So when a 7th person comes along, the other 6 have to wonder which one of them's getting the boot.
Right.
And so for 4 or 5 investigations, everybody was just really cautious of me, or no one knew whose job was getting the axe. And I found it difficult to really become part of that team, to be able to actually
at first
with them.
You were the one that kept it together in the end, but
Well, I mean, I think, between me and Barry and
Barry, yeah.
And Scott and Susan. Yeah, that was a good team.
Yeah, it was a very good team in the end. I mean,
it was.
By far, still my favorite show, not just because you're on the freaking show with me tonight. by far, the one that did it the way it was supposed to be done. And
yeah,
I think everybody else gets edited weird. They didn't edit you guys weird. They didn't do anything. They just let you do what you did, and that was what was incredible.
Well, that was the unfortunate thing. I think that's also how, like, the reason why we,
Probably why you didn't keep going.
yeah, because ultimately, you know, we weren't sensationalizing the situation. We wasn't running away scared, or creating false positives, or just
Right.
saying yes, there's ghosts, and making it. We weren't faking it. So when it came about, we weren't finding ghosts, and we weren't just going to say yeah, but and unfortunately, the networks want ghosts.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do remember a few times on Skype telling you were in the wrong room.
Well, even now though, Scotty, because do you remember?
Still do it.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Do you remember? Wait, it must have been around August. Could have even been this. No, it must have been about August last year. I had a case for Trending Fear that
Yes.
I told you about, because there was I had various different questions that I wasn't sure, I didn't understand, and so I called you in order to sort of get your take on things.
Yep.
So I still do that. I still reach out to people.
Which is the coolest thing about you, and we talked about it on the show with a lot of investigators, is if you don't know, you ask. You try to find the right answer for people. You don't make shit up. And unfortunately, too many people do that. And that's what it's always been. That's why you've always been my best friend, because you don't make shit up. You tell the truth. You let it go. You just put it right out there. And if it doesn't make sense, you don't know, you'll try to find out how the hell, and I did like that show that I gave my 2 cents on,
Yeah. No, and it's great. I love that.
I watched it. I was like, I knew this one coming.
Yes, and it was the voodoo episode with the crystal, and it was because, and here's the thing, so they panicked, the network itself actually somewhat, not the network, the production company panicked, because we went out on this investigation. This was I think this was episode 2 and it was called what was it called? Voodoo Vendetta, I think. And basically what it was is, we got the premise was that this girl had been left a trunk from her grandmother, and her grandmother is haunting her. And it was the trunk that's haunted, and we needed to figure out what, and when I came into it, I had all these different ideas as to what's going on. And, the thing that with any production company, anybody making a TV show, is that they have an idea. When they go out to film something, they already have the story. They know what they kind of want. It's difficult when it's shit. I'm getting hot. Hang on a minute. Sorry.
I know, it's like I have 2 fans on in this room and the air.
It's just crazy. You'd think it was like June or something. But
it feels like February, because that's where we left off our lives.
Oh my God! It should be cold right now, but unfortunately, it's apparently 6 months into 2020.
It's close to Christmas already.
It might as well be. At this point, I'm lost.
Anyway, keep going. So the production company.
Yeah. So yeah. Obviously, they go out to these locations. They scout them anyway. And they know kind of what they want to do, because when they come out, they have a plan. Okay, so we're going to film this today, this today, this today, this today, this today, and this today. And that way they can get everything done and go. The problem is that once we got out there, I started sort of asking different questions, and I sort of had an idea of what was going on prior to us, actually doing the investigation. And I spoke with the the producer at the time, and I was like, dude, so what we thought was going on isn't happening. And he was like, oh, what do you mean? And he starts panicking, because they'd already planned everything, but now that might not work. So in order to sort of get a better understanding, I was back in my room, I was building some stuff, and I called you and I talked to you for a while about the crystal ball stuff. And I then went back to the production company, to the producer, and I said, look, this is what I think is actually happening here. I don't think, and they were like, well, could it be this or could it be that? And I remember getting a phone call. I was in Florida with my daughter broke up with her boyfriend. She was living down there. We went down to pick her up and bring her back home. Because that's what we do, apparently. As parents, we do stupid shit.
You drive a lot.
We do. Christ, don't we? So anyway, so she was down there, and I get a phone call because we'd already filmed mostly, like the episode itself had already been filmed, and they were like, "So some of this doesn't make sense." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, when we edit the whole thing together, it suddenly, whereas you figured it out and it went that route, we got no lead into that. We don't know how you got to that conclusion." I said, "Well, because I've been doing this for a lot of years, I just knew what was happening." They're like, "Yeah, but the TV," and I get it, because with TV, you have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
Unfortunately, there was no middle. I didn't have a middle. And so we had to go back out and actually.
I would have been happy to fly down and help.
I realize, I know. But yeah, I had to go back out there.
Yeah, you do.
And you know, had to sort of discuss everything that I had thought about and everything that we had talked about. I had to go back and actually sort of discuss that with them in order for the episode to make sense. But the coolest thing about that episode, from my point of view, is that they flew out this voodoo priestess from New Orleans, and she flew out, and we got to sort of be part of and witness this sort of voodoo ritual.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was fantastic. And what was it? Because the show only did a few minutes of it, but it took about 2 hours. And like, you know, we started at like 5 o'clock because we figured, you know, we got a couple of hours of light. Well, it went into the dark. I mean, it was pitch black by the time we finished, and we were like, they didn't have lights or anything. And this woman wouldn't stop. Like when the producers are like, "Okay, we need to change angles," she did not stop. She just kept going. So like, oh shit, we're just gonna have to keep filming and just hope we get what we get. So one of the cool things as well with that, it just, you know, I thought Trending Fear was what a paranormal TV show should have been. You know, it was, you know, legitimate. You know, it was, you know, more for paranormal investigators. I thought, you know, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed working with that production company, because ultimately they valued my opinion, which was amazing, because they didn't with GHI. With GHI, they'd been filming for so long that everything was cookie cut, and it was, you know, if you watch an episode of GHI, you know, you start off, we're in the car, then we get to the location. Well, hang on. So we're in the car, and Susan tells us about the investigation. We get to the yeah, right. She's and yeah, there's a ghost upstairs. So she tells us that. Then we get to the location and we do the tour. Then it's lights out, do the investigation. Oh, it's set up, lights out, do the investigation. And then it's wrap up, guys. Let's go back to our rooms and investigate and go through all the evidence that we just caught. It's you know, the headphones is interesting. You know, and then it's the reveal. It's the reveal. Hey, do you hear this? Look at this.
Yeah.
You know, hey guys.
Hey guys.
It was hey guys every time. Hey guys, listen to this. But you know, so you watch every episode and it's always the same. Well, you know, with the paranormal, and anybody who's done, you know, a paranormal investigation knows that you can't. It's. I mean, you know, that's a TV show, and you got to understand that they cut it that way. With Trending Fear, each episode was different, and the best parts of the episode was my entrance. Whatever reason, they gave me backing music. They slow-moed it. They just made it some big ass. Here comes Paul, and it's like, oh yeah, and it was fantastic. It was so funny. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my god. And then my dad wrote to me, because my dad watched it. I had to send him a copy because he couldn't watch it over there, so I had to, you know, send him so he could watch it. And yeah, he was like, oh, psychic, good touch. Apparently, the UK loves psychics.
They do.
Yeah, over here, like you watch a TV show, and you know,
and I'm never on it.
It's always science. We have to do science.
I'm never on it.
No, well,
I was going to move to England because maybe I could be on TV.
maybe that's where it's at.
I'll fly to London, by the way. If anyone watching wants me to be on, I'll fly to London. I'm okay. I'm good on airplanes.
Yeah, okay. Wear a mask and well, so apparently they're making the flights to the UK right now. You have to have 2 masks. You have to, and you swap them out after 4 hours if you're flying that sort of distance. But anyway,
And you have to wait 14 days once you get there.
yes, you do. You have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. That's another thing. So
But anyway, a couple of things in the chat room. One, people say they loved it and hope it comes back.
what, Trending Fear?
Yeah.
It's not going to come back,
Okay.
fortunately.
And then another one, Devin says in there that too bad they couldn't have done voiceover with explanation and B-roll during that segment you were talking about.
Oh, you just had to, with the Voodoo Priestess, you just had to watch it. Because it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. But she was wonderful. And Priestess Miriam was her name. And she's actually, apparently she's famous, like in New Orleans. If you go down there, you know who she is. If you live there or anything like that, you know who this woman is. So yeah, she's a big deal. And she was fantastic. Little kooky, which, you know, the older ones are, you know, and you're an example of that. You're
exactly.
Yeah. But
as a company example.
Exactly. But then, you know, like I say, the best ones are. So, you know, but it was a lot of fun, and you know, I enjoyed it because it was what I wanted to do. I was building equipment for every investigation, and I was explaining that equipment. That was the difference as well. Is it wasn't just you showed.
That's what I loved. I love the fact that finally tell me what this does, or what you think it does. You know, not just saying You know, because back in the old days when GH was on Ghost Hunters, you know, they would take. And I talked about this with I think Paul, but I mean with Scott when he was on. And I said to him, I said, remember in the old days where you guys used to shoot the thermometer across the room, and then at the early episodes they shoot it thinking that it was cold right here when actually the beam went all the way across.
It's all the way at the other end. Yeah, it's what you're. Yeah, and that was something which I tried to tell people.
I know you did.
See, there's the other one. The other one that there was the one that I thought was funny is you see these paranormal teams with their EMF meters, and they're like, waving it around. You're not. It's not going to work. It's
especially tri-field meters. I mean, they have those, and they're moving them. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Leave us still.
See, that's the biggest problem we have with the paranormal field as a whole.
Because that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think?
Don't know what they're bloody doing. They don't know what they're doing with the equipment. They don't know the equipment. It's the same as people with these cameras that, like, cameras have gotten so much better now. These digital cameras have gotten so much better now that they are designed to pull your facial features out, to emphasize the facial features, so that when you have a family portrait, you know, everybody's face is in focus and everything's enhanced. It looks amazing. So when you're in the dark, or when you're in, you know, a forest or a tree, there's trees everywhere, there's wherever you are, a house, doesn't matter, and you're taking pictures, if there's something that resembles an eyes, nose, and mouth, it's going to bring that forward and enhance it. It's just pareidolia. It's just matrixing. The camera is now helping you make sense of nonsense, you know. And the way I generally try to explain that is that when you look up at the sky and you see clouds and you know, think, oh, that was the shape of a turtle, or that's the shape of a rabbit, you know, and you know damn well there's not a rabbit or a turtle in the sky. You're making sense of nonsense. It's the same thing as Jesus in toast, or whatever, you know, when they see they burn the toast, oh, it looks like Jesus, or Kenny Loggins,
or Jesus and cheese, but that's
that's
cheese.
The grilled cheese, it's cheese.
Grilled cheeses.
Yeah, baby cheeses. There's a pizza place up near in Cincinnati that has the baby cheeses. Pizza, like they have, it's great. It's a very, very, very cool pizza, actually, very nice. Yeah.
You know, and the other thing that that kind of gets me is when you see these other groups and they're explaining the tech wrong, but they're explaining it like like they're the expert at it. You know what I mean?
So many people explain things so sure. They're
Yeah.
so, and it's like, why wouldn't you believe that? Because they clearly know that what they're talking about, but they don't know what they're talking about. And it's everything's so matter of fact with a lot of people when we're dealing with a subject that isn't matter of fact.
Right.
No one actually knows what's going on. Right now we're still taking baby steps as far as the investigations and things like that. A lot of these investigations have become stagnant because no one's making any new equipment, no one's going out there and experimenting. It's always the same stuff: a DVR setup, EMF meters, and audio recorders. There's very little differentiation between one investigation to the other, and then you get people saying shouting demon every bloody time. It's just ridiculous. It's actually putting the field back. And this is what I'm saying. About the baby steps thing. It's like there's too many people out there jumping at the demon conclusion, and
Oh my God.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's we did that investigation on Training Fear where they were talking about the demon in the house, and what you didn't see on the show is that I told him that I don't believe in demons. I think a demon is something that was written into a book, and it's something that was created by man. I think personally that if you are a dick in life, your chances are you're going to be a dick in death.
And I agree with that, but where I go a little different, and I just
I
want
know.
but I want to explain this to you because I want your opinion on it, because I do two things.
Right.
I call ghosts and people that cross, so the spirits that don't cross all the way over to what you call it, whatever the other side is.
Sure.
Religions call it heaven, whatever you want to call it. I just say all the way over. But if you're not there, then you're a ghost. If you go all the way over, you're a spirit. And if you're a spirit, then you're of love. You have a ghost, you hold on to your emotions and your crap from life. And I think that's what most of the stuff that you guys have gotten on TV are ghosts. Because I don't think that you came up with and found the spirits of, their grandma sitting in their house being an old biddy, you know what I mean?
Right.
That didn't happen. But the actual building had spirits in it that haven't crossed over. And that's why we call them ghosts. That's why I call them ghosts.
Right.
Trying to give some definition to the difference between the two, because there really is a difference.
Sure. Well, that's the thing about Americans. They like to label everything. Like everything. I'm going to put a name to everything. Like poltergeists. It's just a ghost. It's just a noisy ghost. It's just
Right.
a noisy ghost.
Yeah.
But suddenly you're like, oh yeah, well this one's, see what you have here is several ghosts. You have a poltergeist over here, and there's a residual ghost, and over there is a residual energy. Two very different things here. These people speak with such matter of fact.
I know, it's just crazy.
House. And you're dealing with a client who's scared. When you're so matter of fact, they're going to believe everything you say.
Of course. And that's we Tim Miley and I had gone to places where people are going to move out of their house because they have a demon in there, or they have a portal, or all this crap. And it's like, why are you making these people move? So in the chat room, they said, Mother Mary Dorito. There we go.
That's true. The Doritos, yeah.
Mother Mary Dorito. How's the face? Let me override your experience with my confidence. That's a good line.
Right. And that's what it is. It's I've been doing this for a long time. I've not necessarily been doing it for the longest time. There's certainly people who have been doing it considerably longer than I have.
Yeah, like Zaffis and a few others.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who have passed on though since, like when we were doing this, we talked to a lot of people who are no longer with us.
Right.
And it's weird. I've noticed, and I'm obviously, you're a lot older than I am, so it's just.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Stupid.
But I noticed that as I get older, like there's a lot more people dying around me, and I just like, damn, this sucks.
You're gonna have to deal with me in time because I am much older than you, and I will pass before.
It's true. It's true.
Then I'm haunting your ass, by the way.
No, well,
I am.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
I'm just
You
one
can't
of
get
one
rid
of
me. You
many.
can't get rid of me on the other side either.
I'm just one of many there, Scotty. I'm
I
sure.
know. I have a whole list of people.
You do have it. I'm sure there's a list somewhere. Yeah.
Couple
It's,
TV producers.
oh, really? Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Oh, wait, are you talking about the twins?
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
I know you do. That's why I'm laughing.
Okay, yeah, I got you. And then there's the rock star as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, shit. That's funny. Wait, where's it? I was on the page and now I've lost it again. What is it? A shadow thing? Yeah, Shadow Hunters Paranormal.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat thing and I don't.
I know they're all getting.
There's like 50 comments. Jesus. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's loud. I'll turn the volume off. Sorry, there you go.
Carly, hi Carly. She's pinned her, so we can't, or maybe I pinned her. I don't know. So,
I don't know what that means.
we look good, by the way, in there, man. We look pretty good. Imagine the old day from radio to now this stuff. You know.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? How quickly like technology has progressed, and it's progressed so fast.
I know.
I mean, when what 2008, my phone was really shitty, you know, and we're talking about, you know, let's say less than, no, it's like what 12 years, you know, in 12 years, my phone does everything.
Right. I remember having to get that special sound card from Creative to put into my computer just so I could broadcast.
Right.
And back then we didn't know about speed. So when we tried to broadcast, you know, we were doing it, I think it was like 128 up. I mean, it's like we couldn't do it. And the storm came in and you were off the air and it was just like, it was nasty.
That would happen to me all the time over in Arizona with the, obviously, the other thing is, you know, it relied very heavily on the Wi-Fi. You know, we couldn't use cellular because that wasn't.
Oh yeah, no. And I remember having, like, I was in Alabama and we did the show live from Alabama and I had to go to a hotel and plug in just so I could get you know, internet.
Yeah.
And had to do it from a hotel room. Just like that. That's the only reason I needed a hotel.
You know, I blew out a hotel's electric. One of the first times I went out with GHI, I had to charge all my equipment up, so I plugged it all in, and I guess they were like 240 instead of 110. So I plugged everything into this power strip, and I plugged it in. The power strip blew because the you know, the surge protector, but it also blew the whole fuse for the hotel, and like the whole hotel went out, and no one knew it was me. I didn't admit to it or anything. It's just the first time I've admitted to it. But yeah, it just took it out completely. And then like everyone's like poking their head out the door. Oh, what's going on? And I'm like, oh shit, oh, what's going on? This is great. Oh, you know, that was fun. But Barry had the fire brigade come out to a hotel in, I think we're in Australia. I'm not 100%. It might be New Zealand. But he was cooking sausages and set the fire alarm off. And the fire brigade, we all had to evacuate the hotel. And yeah, that was fun.
Barry cooking sausages in the room.
Yeah, he was cooking sausages.
That's going to haunt me. I'm just going to say.
I think we had little kitchens, though. I think we had little kitchenettes or something in there. In the hotel that we were in, it had little. I can't remember. But yeah, I remember we ended up having to evacuate the hotel because he was cooking a sausage.
So can you? So we talked about the crap that we don't like in the paranormal. What do you like about it?
Nothing.
No, nothing anymore.
No, it's well, no. Since I'm not on TV anymore, there's nothing good going on.
I could say that too. Then I've never been on. I've been cut out of it. I've been on any room floor.
I don't know. I mean, there's still a few things going on, but I haven't really. Well, that's the thing is like, you know, this year was supposed to be my year for conventions and going out and checking out what's going on with the, you know, other people and what's new in the paranormal field, because I hadn't done a lot of sort of paranormal investigations, you know, for a little while, you know, because of work and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
have a real job. It's stupid. But, you know, so when I got Trending Fear and I was able to get back into it, and that, it was a lot of fun. And I got that buzz again because, you know, I was like, oh man, yeah, this is good. I love this. So I was thinking, that's awesome, because we started, I think we aired in December. It was December 20th is when we first aired. We went through January. And I was like, oh, this is great, because now I'm gonna do a lot of events this year. I'm gonna, you know, do a bunch of different events. This is my year to get back into the swing of things. And every event that I was booked on has been cancelled, except for 2 so far. I've still got Scarefest at the end of, I think that's towards the end of October, sorry, at the end of October. And I have another one in October in West Virginia. But that's it. That's all I have now, because everything else was cancelled. So, you know, one of the things I really like doing is meeting people and discussing tech and talking tech and sharing ideas with each other. And, you know, one of the things that Sean and I used to do a lot. Sean, as in the guy who owns Ghost Stop.
Yep, that's right. I know who
he and I used to, like, we play Call of Duty on a, you know, we'd have the headsets on with, you know, I mean, I'm in Arizona, he's in Florida, you know, and we would actually have like meetings and brainstorming sessions while shooting each other, you know, and it worked for us. I mean, we came up with some really good stuff. Boo Buddy was a concept that we came up with, you know, over one from East Coast to West Coast. You know, when Boo Buddy was first conceived, the idea of Boo Buddy.
And by the way, Shadowhunters, which page we're on right now, just got their Boo Buddy.
You got a Boo Buddy now?
Yeah, they got a Boo Buddy.
Okay, good, because they were out, and they might be out of stock again soon. From what I understand, is the parts since, you know, they were basically, Boo Buddy was out of stock for almost 2 years, because the parts that they used to make it became unavailable, and so, you know, they had to redesign the whole board, and you know, then they did. But, you know, from what I understand is that with the way that with the COVID thing, and then obviously with the whole China trade and all that stuff, you know, there's difficulty finding parts and stuff. So, you know, I'm glad you got one. That's awesome.
Yep.
You know, it's still, you know, that's the thing though. Like, the thing with Boo Buddy is, like, when it first came out, when we first saw the concept, we had this concept is we wanted a trigger object that would also be an EMF meter. And we were the first ones to do that because no one else had done that yet. And then we did it and everyone copied us, but whatever. So
they copied you fast.
They did. They copied us very quickly. I mean,
I was like,
I'm not gonna name names or anything, but there's a handful of people who immediately saw that we were doing something pretty freaking cool and wanted to, you know, make their own version. But
right.
What they couldn't do, and they hadn't figured out, is that, so we had this idea of do this, and then I was in the kitchen and my daughter was going through a Toys R Us catalog or something. It was something, I can't remember what it was, but then I saw a picture of Teddy Ruxpin. And immediately I was like, oh my God, what if I could make this bear talk? So I texted Sean. I said, hey, what if I make it talk? And he said, do it. If you can do it, figure it out, do it. So I spent a week sort of coming up with different ideas on how I was going to do this. And ultimately I figured out a way to make it ask 3 questions. And that's what it did. All it did, the first one, the first Boo Buddy, the Boo Buddy, Mark 1, whatever, I was able to detect EMF. Its paws would light up. But if you pressed its foot, was it the foot? Yeah, it was the foot. If you pressed his foot, it basically would say, hi, I'm Boo Buddy, what's your name? It would then wait 30 seconds and it would ask another question, wait 30 seconds and ask another question. And that was all I could do. I could only get the 3 questions because the chip that I was using only had so much memory. And so that's what I did. And so that's what we created, this very first talking EMF bear. But then what we did, we wanted it to do so much more. And so we actually then hired the help of an engineer, and we told him, like, this is it. This is, we needed to do this, we needed to do this, and we needed to do this. And it took us about 2 years maybe to get the final product together, maybe less than that, just a little bit. I don't know. It was around that sort of figure. And it took a lot of back and forth, and we did lots of different tests, and we took it out and experimented with it. And we revealed it at one of these events, and people were just mind blown. That like we created this bear that would investigate for you. It would ask EVP questions. It would tell you if the temperature changed in the room. It would tell you if it was moved. It would tell you, it would indicate EMF. And if it didn't detect anything, it would just keep asking questions. And it had a vocabulary of like 40 phrases.
Wow.
So it went from this 3 phrases to 40. And it just blew people away. And to this day, there is nothing like it out there. Nothing at all. So, and then that's, well, so I think that might have been 2012, 2007. Yeah. Got to do math now. Hang on, I'm running out of fingers. So yeah.
Oh, I'll keep talking then because Paul's doing math. We're going to be running here for a while.
So 2013 must have been around the time when the first version came out, because my daughter was 6 and she's the voice of Boo Buddy. She's the one who did all the questions and stuff. And I remember we sat underneath this duvet, and we're in Arizona, and we're under the duvet because you can't turn the AC off in Arizona ever. And it's very loud. So we were on the bed, so under the duvet, and I learned that from Mike Rowe. I was a big fan of watching Dirty Jobs, and Mike Rowe was mentioning on one of the episodes, he would say that, when he's on the road and he has to film and he has to do his voiceover stuff, he would actually hide underneath the blanket, because that would be like in this little sound room.
Right.
But hot as hell under there. And so we would just, I would say, can you say this? And she'd say it, and we'd do it 3 or 4 times. And ultimately, we actually did a bunch more. And we ended up using those. So there's the 40 phrases that Boo Buddy does. There's also a handful of stuff that we couldn't use because each clip is only limited to like 3 or 4 seconds. So there's a few things that we couldn't use, which ended up going into the app. We created an app version of Boo Buddy. It was Boo Buddy Lite, and it basically, you could go onto your phone, and if you had a Bluetooth speaker, you could put the speaker in the room, and you could just press the button and shoot. It would say the questions. It would sing a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It would sing the ABCs, and it was really, I mean, like I said, no one else has done anything like that. So, I still, think that's one of the best things we ever did. You falling asleep there, Scotty? Jesus.
Oh, no, I'm looking in the chat room.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, what? It's 9 o'clock over here. It must be your bedtime.
Yeah, that's old guys. So talk about old guys. Did you hear they're bringing back a Big Bang Theory?
Really?
Yep, season 13.
Like as a one-off thing?
Yep, because CBS is hurting so bad because of the COVID. And
well,
so
you know what they did? What CBS did is they pissed a lot of people off because they did the CBS Access, All Access. So you had to subscribe, and so you've got all the Star Treks on there, and then you got all these other.
I can't watch Picard because I don't have.
I loved Picard. I watched. Oh, I watched.
Did you watch it all?
Well, yeah, because I have someone else's login. So, yeah, like we share each other's logins, for different I have a few things, and someone else has a few things, and so we all share each other's logins.
That pissed me off because with my cable I could have watched it, but now they don't do that anymore. Now you have to buy it outright. And,
exactly,
and
you have to.
For a while it was with Amazon. If you bought your Amazon Prime, it was with Amazon. Now you can't buy it there either.
Yeah. No, it was on Amazon because in the UK it was with Amazon. It's still
it was here too in the States. I mean, because I could get it, and I watched a lot of stuff at the beginning, and then all of a sudden they changed, and I couldn't get my login. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
As soon as Picard came, they cut it off. But yeah,
I enjoyed Discovery. I thought that was good. A lot of people were like pissy about the ending. I was like, well, it has to end that way because there's never been any mention of Discovery throughout any of the other Star Treks, so it has to be strict from record altogether. I thought it was good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, so who knows? But I like, as everybody knows, well, anybody who doesn't know, I'm just a giant nerd. So you know,
There's a cool. So the one thing I wanted to talk about, do you see any new gear coming? Do you see anybody that has
I
anything
don't
that would
know.
be exciting?
I know that Sean's been working on stuff for Ghost Stop. And
I
I've
haven't seen anything new on Sean's page in a while, so really, really.
no, there was the 360-degree motion detector. There's a new version of the laser grid. Um, but that's about all I know right now. Because again, Sean was another person who was doing the whole PPE thing out in Florida. He was helping print. So because that was one of the things that with Ghost Stop is that we had like 4 or 5 printers, 3D printers that we were building prototypes and all the
Right.
boxes and all the equipment. So while we're all shut down and no one was doing anything, he was using the printers to make the face masks and shields and stuff for the local hospitals over there. So he was doing the same thing. He was, he was helping out as well. But yeah, we I don't know. I don't know what's coming forward. It's this whole year has been so weird that I fell behind again, And as I was saying, I was hoping to sort of get caught up with everything and see what was going on, and join a few ghost hunts, do
All I know for sure is
events. But
that I have a event this weekend, this Sunday finally, that's actually going. It's a psychic fair, but it's going, and we're actually
okay,
going to be live with these things. So
okay,
and, they're going to keep the line outside, so we keep they got a couple rooms, so they're going to have the speaker, so they sit down with half the people, so
all right,
we don't hit the maximum levels.
right, yeah, I get it. So
So I have these old stands that I use to put my flyers in that I'm putting
right,
on my table as sneeze guards.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha,
So that way you don't have to wear a mask like when you're talking.
right. That's
So
what. Yeah,
it's gonna be kind of cool. I'm excited to finally get going again. I mean, I had the whole season booked. I had, I think, almost 20 events I was going to be at this year,
ugh.
and I have
We've
4.
got Toledo. Are you doing Toledo again this
I
year?
am doing Toledo, yeah.
Okay, so I'll see you there on. Yeah, I'll be there. I can't even remember when it is, but yeah, I'll be there.
September-ish, I think, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah. I'll be at that one. Oh,
I'll be down in the area where you guys are. Hopefully for Victory of Light, if that goes in Cincinnati in November. Maybe we can hook up
you have
with
to hit us. Yeah. Hit us up for sure.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
go out or do something.
yeah.
Because last year we went out, we did Victory of Light, and then we did what was that thing called, that laser show that was on all the buildings?
Yeah.
What the hell is that called?
I can't remember what it's called, but it was they had it going on when we were getting married. They had it on our
Yep.
wedding.
Yep. Because we went to that too there.
Yeah, that was fun. That's nice. It was nice. It was nice. Going back to the wedding. That was a good night. Good time. Seeing all my friends again.
All right, so we'll open up the chat room if anyone has specific questions for Paul. Please, you can ask him now. It's going to take like 30 seconds because of the delay, but I actually like my new fireside chat.
Looks nice.
It looks pretty decent. So I'm like, hey, it looks decent. Of course, I had to try it out with Paul first. Yeah, but I wanted a show where you just sit around and talk.
Yeah,
Topics,
me and Johnny Hauser, we were talking, saying that we need to like do an event where it's like camping, and it's not a ghost hunt, but what it is it's just everyone just hangs out around the bonfire or around the campfire, and we just bullshit for the evening.
Yeah,
some fun,
I mean, that's why I love Toledo. That's why I love doing the event at Collinsworth, because Jason treats us well. We all go over, at least all the speakers and
yeah.
we'll go to his house for dinner. we get to hang out before, which a lot of times at events you never do. So
You don't get the chance to do that now. But yeah,
now
we've had many parties.
I'm going to come up with my own because I'm working on it now, but I want to come up with a weekend retreat where it's just being together all weekend and not being this strict, the vendor table's open all the time and, just
Right.
putting things together, for
Yeah.
2 days and just enjoy each other's company and be able to discuss and talk and, relax and eat and sleep and drink, whatever, just have a good
Right.
time.
Right. Just bullshit for the evening, whatever it is, Whatever your thing is. It's Do we have any questions?
Yeah. So Devin has one. He goes, Paul, what is the most fun piece of equipment you ever built? Is it Boo
Boo
Buddy?
Buddy. It's got to be Boo Buddy. Have you even been listening, Devin?
Yeah, Devin. Jeez.
God damn it. Just comes in and out as she pleases. Would I make an appearance on Ghost Nation if asked?
Yes.
I would.
I'm
Yeah. I like Jason.
Yeah, Jason's.
Yeah. Jason's cool. I mean, I don't think they would ever ask me. I upset a lot of the paranormal people because I don't accept bullshit. I tell them as it is, and some people don't like that.
Right.
I called out a bunch. Not them. I've never had to call them out but I've called out plenty of people. There's people who don't talk to me. And they're the people who are full of shit.
Yeah. So I heard that Ghost Hunters
Was done.
is done.
Oh no! I thought they were out filming. I thought they were out filming just a little bit ago.
It might be a rumor, but that's what I heard. But
Oh,
I hope not. That was good. I don't mind the because there's Ghost and Ghost Hunters. So
I haven't watched any of them. If I'm in it, it's not worth watching. No, I just don't have time to watch a lot of TV. Honestly,
right.
I have the TV on in the background, but for the most part, it's usually The Office or Futurama or something which I don't have to think.
Yeah, that's why I watched Tiger King.
Oh yeah, no, I watched that. She definitely killed her husband.
Oh my God, yes, I knew it right away.
You don't even have to be psychic for that one.
Everybody knows.
Yeah,
did you hear this week they came up with it was out on somewhere that her husband's will was forged.
Oh no, yeah, that was on the show. So I read, or I was told, or I saw, I don't remember, but they used a guy to analyze the handwriting, and it shows that it was actually traced. He said it was traced.
Wow.
Yeah, and it happened. So the original power of attorney was like his assistant, and she changed it to her the week before he went missing. Apparently.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she definitely killed her husband.
She was bad.
She just acquired Joe Exotic's zoo.
I know. That's terrible. So have you ever worked with the Ghost Adventure guys? And did you like it?
No, I have never worked with the Ghost. I mean, I've hung out with Aaron and Nick.
Right.
We did one of those haunted attractions down in. Do you remember Wicked? Is it Wicked Farms? Something like that. Wicked. It's down in Kentucky. It's a little bit down from Scarefest. Oh my God, what was it called? It was a haunted house attraction, and Aaron and his sister, Nick, and that was myself, and Chris Fleming was there as well. And so we have this haunted house attraction filled with these guys who are paranormal investigators from television, and we're in this thing. And Chris was behind me, and this guy just bursts out with a fucking chainsaw. Chris shits himself, starts running at me. I shit myself because Chris is now running at me, and Aaron shits himself because he's got Chris and me running at him, and Aaron just picks up his sister who's in front of him. We all three of us start running. So that was fun. But yeah, Ah, shit, that was fun.
See, I go to those things. I go to those haunted places too. I'm
Right.
scared.
See, I did. So the first time I really got a haunted attraction was Universal Studios, and
Oh my God, that was amazing.
dude, Sean actually flew me and Scott to Florida, and treated us both to like a VIP tour. So we got to go into front of all the lines. We did all the houses, and once in a while I got a little whoa, startled and jumped and like that. Scott, nothing. The guy
Yeah,
is
'cause he
not
watches every
shit.
freaking night.
It's he doesn't
Everyone's
have
always
that.
watching horror shit.
It's so weird.
Have
Like
you, have you ever
yeah,
seen
he's
his
just like,
movies?
oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
If
Me,
you ever see his movies,
I
he's you know he's
but
deranged.
yeah, he's odd like that. Um, but yeah, so
Hey, did you go to the
um,
one with the bathroom? The sign that you walk into the bathroom and it smelled like urine and poop and then when you went by the urinals they sprayed you.
no.
Yeah, that was the year I went. They had that, and that's the only one I flinched at. I was like,
That's
oh,
funny. That's good. I
that
like
was just nasty as heck.
funny.
It was so.
Well, then I got the chance to actually be part of it. There for the 25th Halloween Horror Nights 25. I was a chainsaw clown. I was part of the scare actors, like actors, scare actors.
Yeah.
I was actually I did a season at Horror Nights where I was a chainsaw clown, and that was amazing. I hung out at the Simpsons area of Universal, and there's this bridge between Simpsons and Harry Potter, and it got the nickname London Bridge because I used to hide behind this lamppost, and a buddy of mine who was also a clown, he was out in front of everybody, like he'd do a little dance with the rubber chicken and distract them. So as they're coming over the bridge, they're like, "Oh, there's a clown," and then I just jump out with this chainsaw. Everybody scatter and shit themselves, and it was the funniest thing. But yeah, it was ultimately it got called London Bridge. By us, not officially, but
Right.
by all the scare actors who were part of that. They
I
called
know Nick from Shadowhunters here. He works at Six Flags in Chicago here, and he was one of the scare actors this year, and he had a blast.
it's great. It's great.
I lost our page. What the heck? We went off. Can't even read it anymore.
Oh, I see it.
Anymore. So you see it?
My Secret Life as a Chainsaw Clown sounds like a book. That's not even the worst secret. Um, I don't.
Winder's Farm. So that's what they did. Windermere Manor and Hayrides. Which one?
I don't remember. I
Okay.
don't think it was called. Why do I feel like it was something wicked? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. They used to at least advertise. They used to have some of their scare actors at Scarefest
Right.
because we were at Scarefest and we got the invitation to come down and we're like, oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. And so we did. But yeah, I don't really remember much else. Remember which one it was?
That's why.
But being that Scarefest is one of the only freaking conventions this year now, like the big, one that the only large convention that's still currently happening. I'm hoping that means it's going to be particularly busy.
Right. And that's what I'm hoping that this weekend is the first event open in Wisconsin here. So hopefully it'll be packed.
Right.
So, all right, brother. Well, man, I love you. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Of course.
I can't thank you enough. Like I said, you're one of my BFFs. Oh, I love you so much.
Oh man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. Always a pleasure.
It's just fun to hang out.
Yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice to hang out with you. So hopefully we'll see each other soon.
We will.
We will. I mean,
If I make it out there, I'll for sure tell you.
well, yeah. I mean, we're definitely doing Toledo, so
Yep.
we'll,
See each other there.
you know. But yeah, all right, brother. Well, thanks for the invitation.
Yep. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody watching.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop Facebook here, and then I'll talk to you, Paul, when we get it after we stop Facebook. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Don't know who's on yet, so we'll see you later. Bye.